Welcome back to HiFi Lo-Fi. What have I bought this time? Well, actually I bought these a while back and I was so busy I didn't open them. I just put them to one side and I've genuinely forgotten what's in them. Strange as it may seem, I really have forgotten what's in them. So obviously being this channel, it's some kind of audio equipment, and I don't even remember whether they came from the same seller or not. So I bought them online, they're used, and this time what is slightly odd about the items, or as they were sent, is that they haven't come in cardboard boxes, which they normally do. Most stuff I buy in Japan is extremely well packaged in cardboard boxes and plenty of bubble wrap and other stuff such as rolled up newspapers. But these two items have come in these heavy duty paper bags, and my address label, the address label's on there. I've removed it for the purpose of privacy for this video. So let's get this open. I've never received any equipment in a bag like this before, and it feels like it's bubble wrapped inside. That's what it feels like. So I'm going to pull this open tab. Well, that didn't go very well, did it? Right, yep, bubble wrapped. Those are the feet. There it is. Can you tell what it is yet? No, neither can I. Ah, okay, I think I can tell what it is. It looks like a cassette deck. Gosh, it's really well bubble wrapped, by the way. Not sure that the bubble wrap would be enough to protect it against somebody dropping those bags though. Okay, back with the scissors. It's in reasonable condition, looks pretty good. It's the K-505, it's a 90s model, going from memory, and mid-90s I believe. It's part of the Intec 205 series. Maybe you remember in other videos I've talked about these. I do have a penchant for the Onkyo Intec systems, and Onkyo in general I quite like, and Japanese gear in general. Obviously I live in Japan, so there's a lot of Japanese audio gear available. There's the back for you. It's got the pretty standard RCA sockets in and out, analog in and out, and it's got this socket there for daisy chaining gear together, so you don't have to worry about a lack of electrical sockets. Really like that. I've mentioned that before. Very useful indeed. Made in Japan, that's always a good thing. Made in Japan. Back in the day when Japan, because Japan these days doesn't make a whole lot of stuff in Japan anymore. A lot of the Japanese companies have factories in other countries such as China, Malaysia, Thailand, etc. It's part of what they call them in Japan. They call it mini compo. That's compos for components. So mini compo system, mini component system, because as I said, it's part of the Intec 205 series, which as I've mentioned before is 205 millimeters. That's 20.5 centimeters across the front there. That's why it's called the Intec 205. Close up, so it's an auto reverse. You can see that it's got the play in either direction, and we've got Dolby B, Dolby C, and HX Pro. Not a fan of Dolby noise reduction, but I do like HX Pro. It certainly helps. It's got a digital display there. one thing to note is that some people really like cassette deck because they can see the tape going round, and it does have this appeal of seeing something mechanical working in front of your very eyes. I do like that as well, and don't get me wrong, I absolutely love it. But one of the things, if you are into watching cassette tapes go around, you do like to see them in action. You can't with these because you don't get to see it. The loading mechanism comes out like a drawer, and you put the cassette into it and it goes inside and you don't see what's happening. So, you know, if that's an issue for you, you won't like this. Right, let's see the bottom, and oh, it's in pretty good condition. I've mentioned before as well that sometimes these cork feet perish, so watch out for that. Sometimes they get mold issues. Japan is a very moldy place. It's very hot and humid here in the summer, and in some places it's very damp or humid throughout the whole year. Certainly here where I live, the humidity is very high most of the year. I noticed this Onkyo sign, this Onkyo logo, this Onkyo badge is it looks like it's been stuck on afterwards. It protrudes slightly. It looks definitely like it's been stuck on afterwards. Well, the next thing to do is to plug it in and test it, isn't it? Let's see how it works. So what's in the other one, which is almost identical in every way? I say that because it looks like, not only does it look identical, but the weight is identical, and it's got bubble wrap in there. Let's find out what's in the other one. Just so you know that I'm definitely opening the other one. You can probably see in the top right hand corner of the screen the cassette deck that I've just removed from the other package. Right, this one is slightly differently packaged in the sense that it's got some sort of brown paper or cardboard inside. Well, it's incredibly well packaged inside, that's for sure. Looks like a mini disc player. Hooray! Another one, just what we needed. What's that? It's a Pioneer MJ-N901. Right, what's that? Power cable. Power cable plugs in separately. That's an interesting one because a lot of gear from this era has hard-wired power cables, so this one is separate. First thing I can see, scratches. Oh no, scratches there, and scratches here as well. Don't recall those being shown up in the photos online and the information. Got some scratches here, very disappointing that. A lot of scratches. Also, the feet on the bottom look a bit dodgy. The front feet. The rear feet look like standard plastic. Yeah, they're plastic and they look okay. The fascia, how's the fascia? Yeah, there's some marks on that. Not sure if they are permanent. They claimed they'd cleaned it. Although I've forgotten what it is, I always buy stuff that claims to have been cleaned. So even though I've forgotten the details, I do remember that everything I buy claims to have been cleaned. Clearly not cleaned very well, this one. So this is part of another mini compo. This is probably Pioneer's answer to the Intec 205 series, I would say. Not sure what the dimensions of this are. I've got a tape measure here, so let's find out. It's 213, I would say, 213 millimeters at its widest point. So a tad bigger than the Intec 205 series. The length appears to be about just under 27 centimeters, give or take a couple of millimeters. That is slightly longer if you take into account the knob sticking out there, and possibly the sockets at the back. Yeah, so if you take into account the sockets at the back, but the main body is just a tad under 27 centimeters. What's on the back? There we are, made in Japan again. Pioneer gear. Yeah, I haven't got a whole lot of Pioneer gear. I have some Pioneer speakers, which I'm going to show you in a video coming soon. But what have we got? The RCA, we've got optical out, optical in. That's just that. All that says is optical in. Well, it just says input 1, input 2, and output. And this is digital and optical digital. That says, and obviously the power cable plugs in there. Don't remember the year. Sometimes you can tell if you're. You can probably look this up and find out what the year is. I should try that myself. And what about the side? Yeah, more scratches on the side. Very disappointing. Of course, what we're really interested in is how it works. Does it work well? How does it play? Well, that's interesting. It's got this analog input here on the front. That's an interesting one. Anyway, I shall rig it up, and before making the next video, hopefully have some info on the specification. This has been HiFi Lo-Fi. Thanks for watching.